The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in
Okay, good
listen-only
evening,
mode.
everyone. Firstly, thank you for attending the second in the two-part webinar on social trading. Firstly, just to make sure that everyone can hear me, if you notice down at the bottom, you should have a chat message box. If someone could just confirm they can hear me. Feel free, by the way, to use that for any questions that you have throughout the webinar. What I'll do is any that we receive, I'll refer back to them at the end. Excellent. So it appears everyone can hear me. So firstly, just going to run through what we'll cover in this webinar. What we'll be doing is running through how to change the top traders. Then from there we'll be going on to looking into the different traders' asset allocation, how you can change any of those, and then we'll be touching on the performance matrix, and then finally just by the risk management tools that are available through the social trading platform. So firstly, I'll just sign into my account. What we'll do is focus here on changing the top traders. So if to find a trader in your profile, if you go to My Portfolio and Portfolio Configurator, what we'll have here is the opportunity to add different profiles. So your current one that you're running at the moment, and any other traders that you might want to add to a watch list, you can simply just create a new trader here or a new watch list. What we'll also then go through is how to add more traders and also how to remove or change any of them. So using the search function here, if we scroll down, we can see just a brief P&L of the top traders. We can also change the search criteria here. So what I'm going to look for is traders that have got a max drawdown in percentage. And I'll start with top 3 trader levels. And we can simply click on one here. So as you're familiar with the different parameters here, what we've got here is just a brief description of the equity curve in percentage. So what I can take from this trader is that over the since registration period, we've got a combined percentage of 71.5%. What you might want to do as well is look sort of shorter term, so performance over the last week, month as well, and also 3 months. We'll come on to the different performance matrix down here, but this just gives you a brief overview of how to find the traders and also how to add them to your portfolio. So to add this trader, what I'll simply do is click follow, and we'll notice that he has been added here into my portfolio. At the bottom here, we'll notice that not only have my 2 previous traders been added on their performance figures, but we've also got my new trader added and also my total. So what this will have done is look back historically. If I'd been following these 3 traders over the last 6 months, this would be the performance on my account. Similar to with the individual traders, you can select year to date for 1 year and 3 years as well. Obviously this will take into account not all traders will have started a trading history 3 years ago, so it will take them from their first initial trade. So what we can do then is, say for example, if we want to remove a trader, simply go up to the top, select close. What you'll also notice that each time you close or remove a trader, all of the positions for that particular trader will be closed. So if you don't want to, you can simply click cancel. You can then continuously monitor those trades yourself. Or alternatively, if you do want to, simply click that and select OK. So what that's done is it's removed that trader. Any associated trades from that trader on my profile have all now been closed at the current market price. What I'll do is just go back to the traders and simply add him back in. The other feature here is if you see a trader you like on the side, simply search for him. You can simply just drag and drop them in. What you'll get when adding a new trader in is any open positions that they've got. So looking at the trader that I previously removed, by adding him back in, you get this notification here, which is the number of trades the trader's currently got, and gives you the option of whether to execute those at the current market price. So you've got the ability to either just copy the new trades that come on, or alternatively, if you want to add any existing positions that he's got on, so any stop loss that he's got on those running trades or take profit would automatically be added to those positions. If I wanted to do that, I'd simply execute positions at the current market price, and that would add them on. Or alternatively, if I just want to copy him with any new trades that he places, just select that at the bottom, and then we'll see he's been added into the portfolio. Now, as well as being able to remove a trader from a portfolio, you've also got the ability to amend the trading size or effective risk factor for that particular trader. So simply by clicking on the spanner here, what you can do is change the effective times that you're copying their trades. So with this particular trader here, I'm copying him one time. So for example, if he was trading at £1 a point, I'd be trading at exactly the same in proportion to my account. You can change this all the way down to 0.5, so you can change him to half his effective stake size, or all the way up to 10 times. So this, of course, will change the risk that's associated with that particular trader. And then simply, when you've done that, just click Confirm Settings, and you'll see that's changed. Now, with this particular trader, he was only trading one instrument. However, you've got the ability to also change for individual amounts. So if you simply click here, we'll notice we've got all the products this trader has previously traded. And again, we can go and individually change each of the different products that he trades. Each time the trader adds a new product or trades a new product for the first time, the default setting will always be one time. So hypothetically saying, for this client, I want to ensure that any currency trades he does, I copy 1.5 times. Any individual equities I want to remove. And this could be for a number of reasons, maybe looking at the historical performance of a trader on single equities, or the fact that you don't want any single equities in your portfolio. Just gives you that flexibility. So what I've done here is 1.5 times in all currencies, and I could also decide that any indice positions that he trades, I might want to copy those 2 times. So I can simply go through, adjust all the parameters here, and once I'm happy with the different selections that I've made, simply click Confirm Settings, and any new trades that are open from them will then take that effect. So worth pointing out that that won't affect any existing positions that you've opened. It will just apply to new trades that go on. So what we'll move on to now is looking at the individual traders' performances, and also how to look and find the different trades they've done on the different asset classes. So if we take this trader here, simply click here on transaction history, and we've got the time and date the trade was placed, whether it was long or short, the underlying assets, stake size, and then details of a stop loss, take profit, and the price. Moving along here, we've got the signal, so whether it was a take profit, whether it was a stop loss, or whether it was closed at market. So, for example, this trade here was closed by the trader at market, and these ones here by a take profit. We've then got the risk per trade, so this is based on the amount of risk that the trader has on his balance for the individual trade. That's calculated as percentage of where your stop loss is placed. We've then got the profit and loss and the exit price. And finally the cumulative balance. So if we go up here, of course we can search more specific selective periods, specific date, and any specific markets. And then of course sort by ascending and descending. So if we move back to the traders homepage, and we'll see here we've got the various different performance matrix that there are. So performance since registration, so that would be the account value performance since this trader has been registered. If you wanted to look down at a slightly shorter term, you could obviously go by 1 month, and this will have a default setting at 0, and we'll be able to see that for the month he's currently at 32%. So we change that to 3 months, we can then look, it's 4.42% over the 3-month period. Max drawdown, so this is the maximum cumulative loss in percentage of his balance. So the maximum at any time that's been lost of his balance is 12.57%. Volatility, so the larger the volatility means a larger fluctuation. So smaller volatility means that the returns have been much smaller in regards. Obviously a high volatility potentially means more risk to the traders. The number of trades, so this is from registration. Percentage of win trades, again this is all since registration, so this is percentage of winning trades that the client has closed out. So any trade that the client has closed out in a profit would be considered a winning trade. And again, same thing with the percentage of win months. Any months where the trader has made a profit on realized profits would be counted towards this. And then looking down, what we've got here is a monthly breakdown of the different performance. So for this client, May he's delivered 1.39%, June's been 2.33%, and going along to September. And at the end we have year to date. Again, using same profit and loss matrix, we've got a breakdown here of the trader versus 2 different indices. And again, based on since start, 3-month period, 6 months, and going all the way down to a year. We've also got the various different risk matrix here, so the maximum drawdown in percentage, so again comparing the particular trader to same 2 indices, again over a 6-month period, and volatility, and then these 2 here. If you want to know any of the calculations for any of them, they can be found just by simply clicking that, and more. So this will give you a breakdown of any of the calculations that are used. So simply select on this one. It will give you the formula for the MAR ratio. So other important things to look for when searching for the traders is obviously the career levels. So by looking at the different trades they've done in the markets that they've traded, you can narrow down a portfolio into looking at traders with a different asset class. So we looked at the one earlier that had traded on UK 100 only. So by going down into the actual individual trader, we can look at see that compared to the first trader we looked at, there was a bias towards trading purely on the UK 100, whereas this trader here tends to be both currencies and also the Germany. So by combining these two traders, what you'd have is an allocation of trades on the Germany 30, currency, so mainly GBP USD and Euro dollar, and also the Germany mid-cap. It's worth also bearing in mind the different performance figures that the traders have to go through. So if we go back to the search criteria, we'll notice we've got the career levels here. So I'll briefly go through and describe the different career levels. The first is street trader. So this is where all of the traders start. This is where they start their career. They need to have completed a minimum of 15 trades within the 30 days. And they also need to have delivered a performance of over 1%. And the maximum drawdown can't be larger than 25%. So assuming a trader makes past these requirements, they'd then move to advanced, which is this one here. So for this trader, they need to complete a minimum of 15 trades within a 60-day period. They need to have delivered at least 2% since the start of their career. And again, similar to street traders, the maximum drawdown cannot be any larger than 25%. From here, we start to look at professional traders where we see a reduction in the drawdown that can be achieved. So it's got to have reached 25 trades within a 90-day period. They're not allowed to take a trading break for any longer than 30 days. They need to also have a performance larger than 4% since the start of their career. And for this level, traders cannot exceed a drawdown larger than 20%. So what we start to see here is not only the performance changing, but also the risk that that trader's exposed to in regards to the drawdown. If, say, a trader were to have delivered over the performance level at 4% in this category, however, his drawdown exceeds the 20%, so for example, if you've got a 21% drawdown, he'd then be moved back down into this career level here. And because he's gone over the parameter of the 20% drawdown, he then would not be able to move up to here. So once that drawdown's been reached, unfortunately they are stuck at that maximum level. From here we move on to risk adjusted. So to reach this level it has to be a completed trade number of 50 trades within 180 days. The performance must be at least 6% since the start of their career. And finally, the drawdown cannot exceed 15%. Moving on to the top level of trader, which is the institutional. So they must complete 150 trades a year. Maximum drawdown cannot be larger than 15%. However, for performance, there must be a minimum of 8%. Now that's actually based on an annual performance rather than since inception. So what we've got at the top end traders is a much smaller drawdown that can be reached. So anything above 15%, the trader would potentially go back down to risk adjusted. Anything larger than 20%, it's going to be going down to professional. So the traders at this level really have to manage the risk on the trades, and a continuous annual performance of 8%. So just by putting these together, obviously you can limit the traders in regards to drawdowns, but also in profit or loss that they've culminated over the year and also since registration. So if we were to look on Botanicus, we can see that his last trade was 63 minutes ago. The profit or loss since inception is 79%. The maximum drawdown, again, within that 15%, and number of followers. Another thing also is to look at trades per month. Obviously, some traders might be looking for a smaller number of trades, but at different periods. Others might be slightly more active, so it's worth bearing that in mind when adding a trader into your portfolio. And then obviously, as we went through earlier, just going through the different performance matrix that have gone here. So I think by using all of these together, you can select up to 5 traders, which would allow you to certainly diversify a portfolio. Traders trading different asset classes, maybe different styles of trading as well. More importantly as well, we have a automatic stop out level here. So if we go back to portfolio configurator and my live account, what we've got here is the ability to stop execution immediately, and also to set an equity trigger. So at the moment I've got mine set to 650. Say I wanted to automatically close any trades once my balance got to say 750. Simply click on this, select save, and we'll see there my loss protection has changed. So what I'll do is, we've pretty much completed what we're aiming to go through this evening. There's a couple of questions that that people have asked, so I'll go through a few of them. Probably won't have time to go through them, but what I'll do is try and contact you after the webinar and respond back via email to any of the extra questions that we get. So one of them is, can you close a trade yourself once it's running? Yes, you can. The easiest way to close a running trade, simply my portfolio, my live account, close trade, and once that trade market is open, you do need to close it. Another question here is, what is the maximum risk per trade a trader can take? So the maximum risk, or RPT as it's abbreviated to, which is, I'll show you where to find that on the client transaction history. So the maximum risk per trade would be 10% per trade. So a trader couldn't risk more than 10% of their balance on any individual trade. Okay, so another one is, can you amend a stop loss yourself? Yes, you can amend a stop loss yourself. The way to do this would be to logging into your Ayondo Markets account, which is the broker. What I'll do is just guide you through that. If you simply click confirm. So on the positions, so once you've logged in, to amend a stop loss on a position or a take profit that a trader's got on, simply click on your open positions and orders and select linked orders, and from here you can then amend them yourself. You can also close any trades that you wish, and this functionality is also available on both the Android and iPhone app as well. So by using those, you can continue to monitor your positions. You might want to take a view yourself, different to what the trader's got in regards to key levels that you'd be setting your stop loss or take profit. Or alternatively, you might want to close out a winning or losing trade just to realise the profit on that. One thing that is worth bearing in mind is once you amend a stop loss or take profit, that trade effectively then becomes yours, not the trader's. So if, say for example, the trader were to close it out at market price, it would not automatically close out your trade. That trade is then left to be monitored by yourself. So if the trader closes it out, yours will not automatically close out. So it's just worth bearing in mind, keeping an eye on which trades you've amended yourself, just so that you're not caught thinking that trade is closed it and it's still running on your account. Obviously, the performance will be slightly varied compared to what the trader's got if you're amending any of the positions yourself. If they've closed out at a 20-point profit and you close out at a 15, it's going to show your balance is going to be slightly different to the equity curve that's realised when combining the traders together. Okay, so we've got time for one more. Last one is, if I deposit more funds in my account, will your positions automatically change in size? So with the ayondo platform, the trades are automatically copied proportionate to the balance on your account. So say for example you were to have £1,000 in your account and you decide to deposit another 1,000. The trades that you've currently got running would remain open at the same stake size. Any new trades executed would be executed based on the proportion of your new balance. So open trades would remain the same. Any new trades initiated would be based proportionally on the new balance of the account. Okay, so that's it for this evening. If you've got any other questions, feel free to email them to support@ayondo.com. There's a few more which I will endeavour to contact you individually. Thank you very much for listening and have a good evening. Thanks very much.